Nation, I'm Rock Var with yet another DCUO video. Wanted to jump in here real quick and give you guys basically a general overview of the changes that have been made so far in the stat revamp, and then we'll jump into in the next video some of the more specific changes that have been made to power sets. We talked about in the last video, it was more of a basics video on what's happening specifically in Game Update 73. This is more all-encompassing, so pardon me for not using the face cam this time. Bad hair day. You don't want to see it. We're basically just going to stick with taking a look at the forums here. You can see these notes for yourself if you go to www.dcuniverseonline.com. In the forum section, look under announcements, and the title is Game Update 73, the stat revamp. So we're going to go through in general what all has been changed to this point on test, and then we're going to get into the specific changes in the powers in the next video that have been made. After that, we'll get into a general video of the new changes in Game Update 73 that have just taken place on the test server, and then we'll jump into the specific power set changes there, because there's a lot of information. So this is going to just get you up to speed if you haven't paid attention to what has been happening on test server with the updates. This is just going to get you up to speed with what all of the general changes are. So we're going to get into it here, and I'm just going to read this from the forums for the most part. You guys can see this for yourself on the screen, but you know, it always helps to have a little narration, I suppose. The DCUO stat revamp is a total revamp of all numbers in the game and a major update to gameplay balance, combat, and progression. The revamp polishes content and power sets now and builds a strong foundation for new systems, power sets, and features in the future. Ultimately, the revamp will make your stats and your skills determine your effectiveness in the game, not your combat rating. So every power set has also been updated specifically to reflect the broad goals of the revamp. Additionally, they've incorporated the community's power set feedback during the revamp process in an effort to improve gameplay across the board. So the changes that have been previously made on test, and this includes, they adjusted all player and item stats across all levels and combat ratings. They adjusted all NPC stats across all levels and types. They removed combat rating differential from the game. They removed advanced mechanic and weapon mastery bonus damage from the game. They removed advanced mechanic power regeneration. They revamped the skill point tree, and in doing so, they've removed the requirements to purchase weapon attacks to reach stat skill points. They've reorganized and redesigned skill point options to clearly present play styles and stat choices, and they've adjusted all skill point stats. They added playstyle focuses. Choosing a focus enables bonuses centered around that focus's playstyle. So hybrid focus or classic, you choose this to play using weapon attacks and superpowers. Weapon attacks regenerate power. Superpowered focus, you choose this playstyle exclusively to use superpowers. They've increased the passive power regeneration. Weapon attacks do not regenerate power when you've chosen this as your focus. Weapons Expert. You choose this to play primarily with weapon attacks. They increase damage and decreased passive power regeneration. They have removed power points from the game, ladies and gentlemen. Superpowers will now be granted automatically as players level. Iconic powers will now be purchased with skill points. They've adjusted, updated, and balanced all abilities in all power sets, movement modes, and weapon trees. They've updated all aspects of abilities to meet stat revamp balance standards, including damage, power cost, animation time. And so what that means is you should no longer see OP powers or weapons. It will be the same across the board. They have streamlined power interactions across all power sets. They've streamlined crowd control abilities across all power sets. They've widened the cones on many damage abilities. All combo abilities now cost power and use might. Enhanced supercharge abilities to be more impactful and to be used less frequently. They've improved ability tooltips with a wider range of information. Channeled abilities now always allow retargeting, and controllers now automatically trigger group power over time when activating any ability in the controller role. So like I said in the last video, it does not have to be a power over time ability to give power over time to the group now. If you're in control role and you're a controller, you're automatically going to trigger group power over time when you activate any ability. I'm going to mention acrobatics now just because this is something I mentioned in the last video. Some power sets are getting new abilities. Acrobatics actually is getting a new ability called backflip attack. You'll flip away from your target, damaging and knocking back nearby enemies. Backflip attack supercharge has been renamed to devastating flip. And the forward flip attack is now classified as melee. It now hits enemies around the target. Consumables. CC from consumables should now properly apply to non-boss group NPCs when used by a tank or controller. And iconic abilities, this is very interesting. Super Strength has returned. In addition to allowing you to lift heavy objects, it will add knockdown to and increase the damage of your weaponized smashing, meaning when you smash an object or an enemy with an object. In PvP, most normal stat vectors such as skill points, mods, etc. will now work in PvP, but will be scaled to PvP item levels. Note that this is different from the hard clamping on live. In research and development, they've created a new Purify Power interaction consumable for all tiers, and it is called Holy Light Vial. Tactical mods. They've updated tank power set supercharged tactical mods to grant supercharge as a percentage of the cost for the associated ability and to grant it after 1 second instead of 5 seconds. Other roles to follow. They've updated healer power sets, movement mode, and iconic supercharged tactical mods to grant supercharge as a percentage of the cost for the associated ability and grant it after 1 second instead of 5 seconds. They've updated controller power set supercharged tactical mods to grant supercharge as a percentage of the cost for the associated ability and to grant it after 1 second instead of 5 seconds. Accelerated shielding is now accelerated lightweight and will reduce the cooldown of lightweight by 10% when socketed into equipment. They've added Fortified Assault as the mirror option to Fortified Block. Fortified Assault increases defense while not blocking. And on the weapon side of things, weapons buffs should now show a buff icon while active. And like I said, we'll get into more specifics on the changes made to specific weapons and power sets in the next video. I hope you guys found this informative. Please give it a like and a share. We'll get more up on the channel as soon as possible. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Rockvar reporting for VAR Nation News.
VAR Nation News. We mean business.